My name is Alexandra Nicole Cundy. I was born on August 12, 1989 in Norfolk, Virginia. My daughter, Aubrey Grace Probst, was born on October 25, 2010 at DePaul Hospital, the same place I was born. I am the oldest of two. My younger brother is Ryan James Cundy, born on August 18, 1993, also in Norfolk. We were very lucky to have been born and raised in Virginia Beach because my father served in the U.S. Navy for 22 years, and we never had to move. He is now a project manager for the Department of Defense in Norfolk, Virginia. My father, Paul Henry Cundy, was born on August 30th, 1966 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He met my mother, Elizabeth Ann Cundy, at Brookfield Presbyterian Church in Brookfield, Wisconsin during youth group and junior high. They will have been married for 25 years in October. My parents moved to Virginia in 1988 after my father joined the Navy. My father was born to my grandparents, Shirley Gay Zadovich and Walter Paul Cundy. This picture was taken on their wedding day on August 27, 1962 in Waukegan, Illinois. My grandmother was born to her parents, Marjorie Anna Utermark and Henry Frederick Zadovich, on September 19, 1942. She got her degree in nursing, but then stayed home with her two boys and never actually worked as a nurse. I was very fortunate to have known my great-grandparents, parents of my dad's mother, for quite some time in my life. My great-grandmother passed when I was a senior in high school on February 25, 2007, when her heart stopped. My great-grandfather passed away 5 years later on February 27, 2012, from dementia. My grandfather, pictured here with his brother, Charles Arthur Cundy, and their parents, Grace Elizabeth Monroe and Charles Walter Cundy. My grandfather was born on April 30th, 1938. He worked in construction for 18 years before working and retiring from Miller Brewery for 20 years. His mother was born on July 21st, 1899 in Fowlerville, Michigan, and died on January 19, 1957 from a series of strokes. His father was born on November 12, 1897 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and died on June 29, 1968 of a heart attack. My father has one biological brother, Walter Charles Cundy, born on March 23, 1963, and one adopted brother, Roberto Daniel Garcia, born on November 6, 1961 in Santa Fe, Argentina. Here is my brother and I with our adoptive cousins, Lucas, Logan, and Katie Garcia. Both of my dad's brothers still live in Wisconsin. My mother, Elizabeth Ann Kemp, her maiden name, was born on June 9, 1967 in Chicago, Illinois. She was the youngest of three girls. Her oldest sister, on the right, Sherry Joy Kemp, was born on December 4, 1959, and her middle sister, Jennifer Lee Kemp, was born on March 2, 1963. My mother's mom, Audrey Joyce Day, was born on September 21, 1937. She married my grandfather, Bruce Clifford Kemp, on June 8, 1958. My grandfather was born on February 15, 1937. My grandparents met on their first day of school at Carroll College, which is now Carroll University in Waukesha, Wisconsin. My grandfather served in the United States Marine Corps on active duty for 3 years and was in the reserves for 8 years after that. He then worked for a few different corporations before starting his packaging company, Kemp Packaging, where he retired from that business in the year 2000. My grandmother got her degree in education and was a teacher until 1999 when she retired. My grandmother was the youngest of three, pictured here with her oldest brother, William Everett Day, on the left, and Jack Harold John Day on the right. This picture was taken at my grandmother's brother, Bill's cottage. In this picture are he and his wife on the bottom right and their children and some grandchildren. Also my mother's parents in the left middle with some of their children and grandchildren. My brother, pictured here, is the only grandson on my mom's side in the middle of 7 other granddaughters. Needless to say, my grandfather was very happy when he heard the news. This picture is of my grandmother on my mom's side, her mother on the top right, her grandmother on the bottom left, and her great-grandmother on the bottom right. My grandmother was born to Mary Godfrey Day, born in 1899, and Ernest Everett Day, born in 1900. These two were married in 1921. Both passed away in 1982, her father as a result of being a stroke victim for 20 years and mother of natural causes in her sleep. My grandfather was born to Laura Lavinia Lewick, born in 1911, and Clifford Herman Kemp, born in 1910. These two were married in 1935. His mother passed of vascular heart disease in 1997, and his father passed away of the effects of alcoholism and smoking. Pictured here are the parents of my grandfather's father and their son, Herman Kemp, who died in 1918 in his 20s from the flu. Next are my grandfather's maternal grandparents. Pictured here is my grandfather's mother and her 13 older brothers and sisters with their parents. These are two pictures of pages from a family tree album that my grandfather, Bruce Kemp's mother, made before she passed away. It goes back 7 generations. My mother's parents raised her with a hard hand, but with unconditional love behind it. They taught respect, kindness, patience, importance of helping people who have less than you do, and to always fight for what you want and never give up. My father's parents raised him by instilling their beliefs and strong family values. Church was a big part of both my parents' lives for a very long time. This was where they met. They taught him the value of hard work and perseverance. I believe my parents have raised my brother and me in a way similar to the way that their parents raised them. They taught us the value of being kind to others, having a strong work ethic, and to never give up. They taught us the meaning of family, and although we sometimes may not like each other, we always have to love each other. I have learned so much about my family and could go back many generations more, but one thing I realized in doing this project is how important family togetherness was and is to so many generations in my family, on both sides. The most important and valuable thing my parents have taught me is that family is forever. And sometimes we have to do things we don't necessarily want to do because we are family, and that's what families do. They love and support each other no matter what. My daughter and I are very lucky to have had them open their home to us, even after their youngest child just left for college and they finally had a quiet house. We're not a typical family, and honestly, who is anymore? But I wouldn't trade the family I have, the 5 of us, for anything in the world.
When